Shalom, call hello, Bashemel, Wishai Bahashemel, Wadash, double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops of GMS, even the elders that came before them that taught us his truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity. The hopeful elect tabernacle of David, the Aquath that are listening, learning, being in the pillar of rest, the 144,000 the hopeful elect of Israel, the brother slash elder, and shalom and salutations to you all. This is Second Ezra 9 and 2. I have to go around all this because I don't click into stuff like that. You will know that the time has come when the Most High, when God the Most High will bring judgment on the world he has created. There will be earthquakes, national rebellions. We're watching that right now. International intrigues. So to the other side of the world, in China right now, they're intrigued by what is going on in Los Angeles right now. Unstable leaders. We're about to look into this. All right. Confused rulers. Unstable leaders and, see this conjunction and, these two things are connected to each other. Now, these things are not. There is no other and. There will be earthquakes, comma, national rebellion, comma, international entity, comma, unstable leaders, comma, and there'd be no comma there if they were attached, I believe. So much for my grammar. Anyway, unstable leaders and confused rulers. Pretty much the same thing. We're going to look into that. Unstable leaders and confused rulers. When you see this happening, you will know that they are what the Most High God has spoken about since the beginning of creation. All right, so we're at the end. These are the signs of the very end. Miracles. Let me read the rest of this. The beginning and the end of everything that happens in this world are clear. The same is true in the world above, meaning where the Most High resides. Wonders and miracles show the beginning of events, and mighty signs show that they end. Okay? Now, what's going on right now? Okay? Wonders and miracles show the beginning of events, right? Who is that? Who's the beginning of it that followeth? Right? And who is the end? Okay? So, mighty signs are for Esau. Wonders and miracles are for Jacob. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in for good measure. Anyway, so, but here's the point. Unstable leaders and confused rulers. So let's take a look at that. There is a civil war coming. This is about the Civil War. Gavin Newsom. How can the President of the United States just hate this dude? I'll tell you why. Because Melania loves him. Therefore, Donald Trump, in front of everybody and their mom, the highest point in American government, calls this guy without hesitation, new scum. Letting you know that this whole dog and pony show, either this guy is just way the hell out there, new scum. Who does that? You're supposed to be maintaining this farce known as the American government. But what you're doing by calling this guy new scum, you're making it the whole thing into a farce that if anybody can't see, right? And DJ Trump might be a Jake, right? For that one thing alone, he attacks a motherfucker relentlessly like a Jake, like a little bitch-made ass nigga raised by his mama. That's how Trump reacts. You throw a stick at him, that nigga is ready to do some effeminate ass shit. All right? So new scum is what he calls him. He won't hesitate, right, like a child to throw. So it makes you wonder if it's real or if this is stage play, right? He calls him and new scum, right? You got to that's a whole thing. Anyway.
You've also mentioned Mayor Karen Bass and Governor Gavin Newsom, and they're
Newsom. Now this guy is part of this whole theater. I don't even think he has a job anymore. He's just part of this whole stage play. Okay? Now, watch this. This is WWF. All right? This is 5 hours ago. MSNBC at the top of the lamestream or legacy media. What do we see? We see days of our lives. Look at this.
You've also mentioned Mayor Karen Bass and Governor Gavin Newsom, and there have been threats, previously that if you stand in the way of your enforcement operations, you could be subject potentially to arrest. Are you saying that about Mayor Bass and Governor Newsom? Are they at risk of being arrested?
I'll say about anybody. You cross that line.
He's a tough guy. Why doesn't he do that? He knows where to find me. But you know what? Lay your hands off 4-year-old girls that are trying to get educated. Lay your hands off these poor people who are just trying to live their lives, man. Trying to live their lives, paying their taxes. Been here 10 years.
Look at the camera. Look at the camera do the pan as if this is some sort of drama. Look at this. Look how they're setting this thing up. Okay? Because what he's saying holds a lot of merit, right? Especially in LA, right? What are they doing? They're setting up this civil war right and serving it up. Look at New Scum, all right? They are serving you days of our lives right here. Look at that pan. Look at the pan. It's a hard pan. Look what they're serving you. Watch.
Lay your hands off these poor people who are just trying to live their lives, man.
Look.
Trying to live their lives, paying their taxes.
For dramatic flair, the cameraman starts to rotate and pan and make this and focus in on this acting right here. All part of the, tell him to bring it. Come and get me and lock me up. We might even see that. We might see him lock this motherfucker up just to do what? To start this fucking civil war right? Right now, the race war is already kicking off. Go check and see what Esau is saying about what's going on the street and understand that the race war is in effect as we speak. Now, very quickly, right, and from the very beginning, these two are fighting each other. I took your jurisdiction, I took your authorization, and big bank take little, it's just the whole thing. This is a left-right paradigm fight, right? Which is what? That's a civil war. All right, we'll get to it.
10 years.
Wait.
The fear.
Let me do that one more time because it's very significant. I'm going to just play it from the top one more time. Look at this. This is a production. All right, if you know who Joe and Mika are, this is Mika Brzezinski. All right? Zbigniew's daughter. Okay? You could start right there. What kind of production is this? All right? Morning Joe is Mika's husband now after the affair online. If you're not watching, okay, it's still Zbigniew's daughter.
You've also mentioned Mayor Karen Bass and Governor Gavin Newsom, and there have been threats, previously that if you stand in the way of your enforcement operations, you could be subject potentially to arrest. Are you saying that about Mayor Bass and Governor Newsom? Are they at risk of being arrested?
I'll say about him.
Damn it. Oh, I did that. It's a lot. I did that to my supposed sound system. So Lucky, bear with. Oh wow, what did I do? Okay, I foiled it. Bear with me as I get this thing backed up. Shame. This is shameful. Sound engineer. That should be it. Look at this side.
Jacob Soboroff during a weekend of significant.
Slovakia. I guess I won't be able to get that.
That are trying to get educated. Lay your hands off these poor people who are just trying to live their lives, man. Trying to live their lives, paying their taxes. Been here 10 years. The fear, the horror. The hell is this guy? Come after me, arrest me. Let's just get it over with. Tough guy. I don't give a damn.
Trump border czar Tom Homan and Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom of Florida speaking to NBC's Jacob Soboroff during a weekend of significant unrest in Southern California as protesters took to the streets in response to ICE raids across the Los Angeles area. This morning, the National Guard is on the ground after President Trump deployed thousands of troops there. Jacob Soboroff is standing by in LA with the latest, along with NBC News senior Homeland Security correspondent Julia Ainsley. Meanwhile, President Trump is warning Elon Musk there will be very serious consequences if he funds Democratic candidates after their very public falling out. We'll discuss whether Democrats should now be looking to bring Musk back into their fold. Plus, it was a huge sports weekend.
Okay, so they kind of go into this thing, and they have a little round table. But anyway, here's what's being presented. Okay, this is mainstream lame MSNBC. What did they lead with? They led with this soap opera going on in LA. What's going on in LA? All right, they're setting up the Civil War. Okay, that's what we see. All right, this is setting up that Civil War. All right. They're basically giving them, let's see, Newsom, S-O-M, Newsom and Bass, Rankin and Bass, Newsman, Newsom, Newsom and Bass do what? What do? They embolden. E-M. That's the way the right would portray it. Embolden rioters, right? Right. How about that? Let's see where that takes us. Newsom, the borders are come and get me, tough guy. Did we just watch that? Okay. Silent as riots explode. What they're doing, anti-ICE, Trump's mess. See, because they said, yeah, no, they can. We want you guys to hit the street and protest, is what they're saying. Spar over troops. So this is pretty recent. Let's see. Newsom threatens to sue Trump administration amid riots. That's 4 months ago, 17 hours. Let's watch this real quick.
So I call on all Angelenos to continue expressing your right, your anger, your outrage, but to do it peacefully. And I just have to say that all of you were there Friday.
Now let me say this. That is the American way. You understand? She didn't say illegal aliens, illegal immigrants. She said Angelenos. Right? And she's right. She's correct. But what they're doing is they're making her the bad guy for saying just be Americans. So really all this comes down to is what kind of American are you? Right? Remember Esau said that? So what kind of American are you? What kind of Babylonian are you? Right? Remember that in that movie? So what kind of Babylonian are you anyway? I'm an American. Well, yeah, but what kind of a Babylonian are you? We're getting to that point. Come on, kid.
So I call on all Angelenos to continue expressing your right, your anger, your outrage.
You know what that means to Esau? Esau's livid about, oh, send out the Marines. Oh, send out the Marines. Nigga, the Marines are going to be at your fucking door, dummy. Keep saying send out the Marines. They're going to be at your fucking door, dummy. You don't understand the game yet?
But to do it peacefully. And I just have to say that all of you were there Friday. Everybody knows what happened Friday. A workplace, several workplaces were targeted
She's
and
absolutely
raids
right.
took place. Now, in the beginning, the administration said they were just looking for dangerous felons.
They went to the Home Depot to look for dangers. You didn't go to the hood where they're slinging dope and cocaine. But you went to where motherfuckers trying to get a job and feed their family, right? The right way, the correct way. It started a whole fucking bunch of shit and got the motherfucking redneck and then the motherfucking Klan with the riot gear on, right? Hell, you think that we don't know what the hell is going on?
Violent people. It's hard to say that that's what they found at a workplace or in a Home Depot parking lot. When this happens, it terrifies people. It sends a sense of fear and chaos in our city. And you well remember a few years ago in the last administration, the kids were afraid to go to school.
See, the whole thing is that that's what's illegal. Oh, they're illegal. Motherfucker, you're an illegal president, dude. You're a pedophile, right? Running with Epstein. Isn't that coming out right now? Or let's go kill some kids. Take the heat off of me. Nigga, we see you. We see you. Don't ask me what I mean by killing kids. Okay? Don't ask me, motherfucker. I'll unmask this shit. All right? Go back to this video right here. All right? You wanna know something? How to start a riot and why. See, missed that one. And why though? Why? Epstein, why are they focusing on immigration? Because at the same time they're doing these riots, they're making arrests for CT and HT. And calling it immigration, but really what are they doing? Bait and switch, baby. Check it out. Anyway, if you understand what the hell is going on. And they're all part of it. Who is she? She organizes shit. She been organizing shit like that before she got the mayor job. She just went to the other side. You gotta own both sides. She called agent provocateur. Everybody's doing their job. New Scum is doing his job. Anyway, here comes the Civil War is between these two. Let's see. Let's type this in. Trump admin. And Newsom and Bass Civil War. Where does this take us? 23 hours. Because when you hear him talk about it, you understand where it's going. Trump's ICE director threatens to arrest. How long is this? That's 15 hours ago. That's the short. 16. See him going back and forth. LA Mayor Karen Bass blames Trump admin for ICE protest chaos. Which she's correct, because they sent them in there and they should not have done that. That was stupid. But they had their intent, which we know what it is, but it is what it is. I'm trying to figure out which one to watch, if we watch one at all. Breaks loose. See, because anybody's going to spin it their way. It doesn't matter. Motherfucker, the shit's going down. You know, call hello, Yahweh Shamil shot it. Let's just look at this. Try to get both sides.
Let's talk salary.
Great.
Try to
What
get
do you
both sides
typically
from
offer?
Fox News is what I'm going to try to do, right?
As we continue to monitor this, I do want to bring in political analyst Henry about the political divide. Henry, we appreciate you taking the time to join us on this Sunday.
Thank you for having me on.
It's really interesting because initially what we were seeing with the dialogue from the very beginning was that both the Democrats and the Republicans agreed that the border system was broken, that there was a crisis happening on the southern border. Now,
see how they're making this about left and right? It's about left and right, which is civil. This isn't about get these dirty Mexicans out of here. It's not about that. You understand? We know what this shit is about. Okay? This is about stone cold fucking racism.
There is an incredible divide with Democrats and Republicans facing off. We have seen just how tense all of this is just in the past 48 hours.
And I do believe this too. See, Esau, what he's doing right now, he's doing mass categorization. And Esau is very smart. His mind is deep, okay? So I'm speculating when I say this, but when you divide the right and the left, on the left you got a whole bunch of speckled birds, and this devil, he knows that. If you can show sympathy for what's happening to Issachar, chances are you might be a speckled bird. Understand what I'm saying? Through the spirit, this devil does. Okay. That's that divide and conquer. How do you divide and conquer? Well, you know who you're dividing, right? If I know I'm dividing and conquering the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, and they don't know, nigga, I'm going to keep them not knowing. Okay? Anyway, let her talk for a minute.
Specifically with the scenes coming out of Los Angeles, and now the National Guard troops are being deployed by President Trump. Can you talk about, the flashpoint that is this issue and how much it's created this divisiveness between the
When's the last time that this went down in earnest? See, you could, in between what they call the 60s and right now, there have been some skirmishes, but nothing. And I can say that because I was there. I remember the 60s, right? I remember the political climate. I remember I was a very young child, but I do remember there was an energy of change that was happening. I was born in 63. So by 68 and 69, I was 5 or whatever, but I was very intuitive and very aware even at that age. So anyway, I was aware that things were changing and it was getting better for so-called black people because we were moving at that time. We were moving from Negro to colored to Afro-American to black. It was all happening, right, at that moment, right? And I was part of that. I was like, well, things are changing. I was being made to believe that things were changing, and I thought that they were, and they were to a large extent. What it was like in Jim Crow coming into the 60s and then into the 70s, I'm absolutely sure that was huge change, right? But it was it really change? It was Band-Aid change, right? And now that Band-Aid is being not peeled off, but ripped off, all right? And to know, right, that chasm is greater than to not know it, okay? So anyway, the point is that let's listen to a little bit more.
Parties here.
Look, the Biden-Harris administration decided as a matter of policy that they were going to...
The point I was making is that the last time that they've had the National Guard and armed soldiers out in the street to any significant level, all right, of trouble was in the 60s. Now, what I'm getting at is this, all right? During the 60s was civil rights. If you understand what civil rights was really about, this is what it was about. Esau thought Jake was waking up. And they were. It just wasn't time yet. It wasn't time for what we're watching now. They thought that what we're watching now was happening then. When the 60s and civil rights, right? They thought, right, that what is happening now, right? Now listen close to what I'm going to say. They thought that what is happening then was happening then, or they made us believe that somehow what is happening now happened then. They created that situation in which they brought us into their world through the civil rights, so-called civil rights struggle, made us believe that somehow we had arrived by being under their thumb to an even greater degree, because now they had control over our money, our economy, and everything else, which is what they actually did. Made it seem like we integrated when really we gave up our sovereignty, if you will. Because when we, see, here's why, and this is why, kind of going in a direction here, but Issachar believes he's the only one that's hard working out there. You know what? Let me explain what that is. Okay. Hard working motherfucker. Ain't nobody outworked Judah in the goddamn cotton fields and in slavery. Here's what happened. They so-called let us out of slavery, right? And immediately Jake jumped up and, nigga, you talking about work? You talk about work? Issachar, you think you can work? If Judah knew he was going to be able to keep what he worked for, you would see real work and innovation. But what happened was Esau was like this, yeah, nigga, build up that fucking Wall Street. Because when I burn it down successively, when I put it underwater, every time you pass me up, nigga, I'm going to let you know. You might as well go sit your ass down in the corner. That's why Issachar thinks he's the hardest worker. Issachar, you ain't built no utopia. Okay? And if you did, it's because we're Jakes. Not that you've done something that we haven't done. Historically, here's what has happened. And we're all the same. It happened to all Jakes. It happened to Gad. We are Gad. Right? We don't know who Gad, Issachar, or Judah, nigga, first. All right? We're Jakes. Okay? But this devil is going to ensure that no matter what do you understand now? Latinos for Trump? You understand now? Yeah, you've been here for a long time, generation. We'll take it, we'll bury it underwater, motherfucker. We'll set it on fire and blame it all on you. That's what you see going on right now.
Change enforcement of our border laws. And what that did was create what we saw for 4 years of millions of people trying to get into this country using whatever means possible. Millions of them are still here. And
you got a motherfucking president who's a pedophile and all manner of fucking wicked ass criminals. 34 motherfucking felonies, and they're all dismissed because you get to be the president. You think somebody's stupid out here? And then your crimes come up and suddenly we're pointing back at the Northern Kingdom. Anyway, Salakia. Yeah, this is about the Civil War. So let me get that and get the hell out of here. Before I just, I'm completely off topic, so I apologize. Isaiah 19. I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. This is what we see. When you see new scum, right, fighting against Trump, right, and they shall fight everyone against his brother. A couple of Edomites fighting him. And everyone against his neighbor, right? City against city and kingdom against kingdom. All right, this is that Civil War. Okay, and we're watching it. Let me go back.
So I call on all.
This is that Civil War. Okay. This is the Civil War. It has started.
Hi, Mr. Wonderful here. When I choose to invest in a
Salakia.
company, it's because I see the
Bear
potential for
with me.
growth.
Are you prepared to invoke the Insurrection Act?
Depends on whether or not there's an insurrection. No, but you got violent people, and we're not going to let them get away with it. I think that you're going to see some very strong law and order.
Did we see insurrection on Jan 6? And this nigga just saw it and approved of it. But when you send Gurkha troops down to fucking Home Depot and start shooting tear gas and shit, and people react, and then you're well, that might be an insurrection. Come on, dude. You look like the fucking clown that you are with your head. So this nigga got part of his scalp removed, according to Jeffrey Epstein.
Last night in Los Angeles, we watched it very closely. There was a lot of violence there. There was a lot of violence, and it could have gotten much worse. And you have an incompetent governor. Just take a look at the train stations that he's building. Like 20 times over budget. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. So I did call him the other night. I said, look, you got to take care of this, otherwise I'm sending in the troops. That's what we did.
He mentioned what? The trains, right? Did he mention the trains that they're over budget on? I'm going to show you something, and then I'm going to go ahead and close. We are not ignorant to, yeah, they're building trains out here, and they're long over budget, long overdue, and they can't do their damn thing, right? They can't do what the trains are used for. If I type this in, what's going to come up? Auschwitz, A-W, Al. Is it Al? A-U, Al? How do you spell Auschwitz? A-U, Ausch, S, Auschwitz. If I type in Auschwitz, what you think I'm, what's that? Auschwitz. What do you see? This is Auschwitz. What do you see? What's most important about Auschwitz? Is that tunnel right there? Got to pull up in there. What are they doing in California? They're getting these trains right. See that? What that motherfucker say about the trains? That was a cryptic little floater there that men of the Lord, we got eyes to see and ears to hear. He said something about trains. You know what they're doing where I live right now? Working hard, feverishly on getting that train finished so that they're a little behind. Here's what the nigga said. We behind on them damn trains, nigga. We needed them for this operation. Okay? Yeah, anyway. Don't be fooled by what you think you see. All right, so we're not ignorant. Get that on the way out. Slovakia. Yeah. Watch for the Civil War they're ushering in right now. 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, his schemes. All right, so with that, we hope the elect are edified. Brothers and sisters, shalom.